Hey, y'all, welcome to the Common Good Podcast. Rob, honestly, it's good to be back. Last week was a good week off. I need a little vacation, but man, it's nice to be back. You know what I've been hearing a lot lately? People I wouldn't expect saying, man, I really enjoy the podcast. So anybody that says that, thanks. And if you do enjoy the podcast,
fantastic.
Rob and I aren't the kind of fellas that need a lot of
smash that subscribe button.
that need a lot of
turn on that bell for notifications.
Yeah. You know, that is a thing, especially on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and the level to which YouTube content creators think they also have to tell people how to use YouTube. Like, hey, just in case you don't know, you can get a notification. Like, okay, if you are onesie by onesie teaching people the platform, that is not a good use of your time. So whatever you do on YouTube, wherever you watch it, I don't know. Good luck to you. But we don't need a lot of affirmation, but every once in a while it's kind of nice when someone says, yeah, I've been listening to your podcast. And I said to my wife the other day, you really got to listen to these guys, which actually shocks me. I mean, I know we have a number of women who enjoy the podcast. In fact, our women numbers are higher, but here's what I've learned.
Yeah. Not
when
our
middle-aged-ish men say to their wives, you really should listen to this, they usually don't care for it.
No.
So it's like men have decades of not knowing that. No, that's not actually what people want to hear. It's not actually what they want to listen to. How about you, Rob? What's happening after? What'd you do with that whole week off the podcast?
It wasn't just a week off the podcast. I had 10 days by myself. Vanessa and Whimsy went to Pennsylvania and visiting some family, and they had a good time there, and got home late last week. And then on Sunday, you know what I did, Doug? Sunday, I celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary.
Alone?
No, Vanessa was back by then.
Oh, Vanessa was back. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. 30 years.
Wow.
It's a big one. Felt like a big one. Yeah, and 20, I threw Vanessa a surprise vow renewal. Thankfully, she was still up for that. And then we went to the Bahamas on a little second honeymoon. 25, we went to Ireland. 30,
you were really spending the equity on 30. I mean, you've already spent it all.
30, we went to Bentonville.
Stop at Cracker Barrel. You didn't get anything you want. I've been saving up for 5 years for this.
Yeah, we had dinner at a real nice steakhouse where the staff, they had, when I made the reservation, it's like anything, and I put any special thing. I was like, it's our anniversary. I got a text from somebody at the restaurant a couple days ago asking what number anniversary it was, and I said 30, and they had a card signed by all the staff.
Wow.
Like a personalized card, and a little gift of a candle, and
that's sweet.
Really nice. It was they went above and beyond, and which was really great. And then yesterday, Doug, school started. Started.
Wow.
I feel super early this year.
I've been hearing this. I saw other people that are like in, I don't know, Nashville or something, like, hey, the kids are back in school. And I'm like, it's the 10th of August.
Yeah. So yesterday I spent hours of my life in car lines outside of Don Tyson School of Innovation.
Oh, Don Tyson. I'm sorry.
Don Tyson. You thinking
Mike
of a different Tyson?
Mike Tyson. For some reason, you said Mike Tyson. School of I pictured Mike Tyson's School of Innovation. Is this like the Tyson?
I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start calling it the Mike Tyson School of Innovation.
And then, I mean, you know how fast your mind can sort of like try to make sense. I'm like, no, it's not George Foreman with his grill. George Foreman grill. That's what my brain was doing there. I'll probably go back and look at like what were the screenshots of my face when you said Don Tyson. What now?
That's funny.
Mike Tyson and George Foreman?
George Foreman? What?
I
I mean, I
mean,
could understand with the grill.
yeah,
That was kind of innovative,
it was a
but
long
Mike
time
Tyson.
ago.
That's right.
Didn't George Foreman name all of his kids George?
George, yes.
Like George
Yeah,
1, 2,
hilarious.
3, 4, 5 or something? And even,
Oh, just
no, regardless of gender, this guy was real post-gender. He
so
was
funny.
just
So
oh,
funny.
that is great.
Yes.
So is
Yeah.
Tyson the food or the protein
Yes, Tyson
supplier,
Foods. Yes.
the
Yes,
protein
Tyson.
solution provider?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's yeah, Tyson Foods is their world headquarters is here in
I have a
Springdale.
friend who went to the Tyson plant. For some reason, there were a
Mhm.
bunch of faith leaders that went to the Tyson plant. I can't imagine
Probably
why.
protesting worker conditions.
Well, no, they like had a tour with people
Oh.
there. So I can't remember why. I just remember one of my friends was there, and the thing he was most shocked at. Well, there are a lot of things that changed his mind about how that all works for the positive. The thing that he didn't expect was the level to which they referred to animals as protein solutions, which I guess sounds like when someone's in corporate speak and they talk about the people in the human resources department.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yep.
you think of us as like a resource, like pencils and
Yep. Just
copper.
protein solutions. Yep. That's what we do here in Chickendale.
Yeah, Chickendale.
That's
Of course.
That's the nickname of Springdale. It's Chickendale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what we're okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you had to drop
Back to
Whimsy
school.
off.
Yeah.
But isn't
And
Whimsy now old enough that she can be taking herself to school, or she still need a
well, she's 11.
parental support?
And it's a
Yeah.
new school for her.
We're
You
in
know,
a bubble.
she's no longer at Harp Elementary. She
Yeah.
would walk to and from Harp Elementary. It's about a half mile from our house, which is great. Don Tyson School of Innovation is about a mile, maybe a mile and a half from the house. And it's just a little bit. I mean, we gotta figure out the lay of the land before we
Okay.
have her walking.
Okay. She's at the new school, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You know what happened to us the other day? Wow. About somewhere in the winter, we discovered that in our well, I'm taking us back.
Got it. Giving us some context. Yeah.
In our closet, we live in an old farmhouse that's had an addition renovated in the 1980s by the previous owners, and everything's a little slapped together, a little not quite done right, like kind of basically the kind of house that I would have done the ad on had I been the person living here and did the ad on. Like, so it sort of fits. Like, oh, I would totally have cut that same corner, literally that same way. So everything's a little quirky. And we have a walk-in closet in our bedroom that faces an outside wall and then adjoins a sort of cold storage area in the old farmhouse. So we noticed mold, Rob, black mold on the ceiling and a couple of places inside the sheetrock, like where my sweaters are and some stuff.
Oh no.
So we're like, oh boy. So we move stuff away. We're spraying some things on it. We decide this summer we're going to get after it. Put it off. Shelly said this weekend, like, hey, you're going on the road soon, and it's August, whatever, 8th, and this is still, winter's coming. Like the friggin' Hunger Games or whatever. No, what's the thing where the winter is coming?
Game of Thrones.
Winter is coming. So we're like, all right. So I start taking everything out, and I look at this wall, and I'm like, all right, what do we do to abate it? And we go to clean it, and I'm like, I'm just going to cut a little hole up there in the corner and just look inside. And there's mold on the plastic. There's mold on some of the insulation. Oh, this is terrible. So then I've spent the last 2 days tearing out sheetrock, finding out that what's behind the wall makes absolutely no sense. No wonder it's this way. Having to figure out how we're going to insulate this thing and warm it. And then last night at 8:30, I'm hauling sheetrock up into my closet and screwing it all in. And I kept thinking, this is like the Trump administration.
Yeah.
The black mold that we see on the surface, not nearly as bad as the problem that's right behind the surface that we are not seeing.
Yeah. Were you able to get all the mold out?
Yeah. I mean, I took all the sheetrock out, took all the plastic, took all the insulation, of which there was not a lot because of the way the wall was sort of added on and constructed. The solution to mold when you're in a cold environment, which we are in Minnesota, and the house is hot and the closet can be cold and there's no registers running in this, heat registers running in there. So we got to figure out a heat flow. We got to figure out we're going to go maybe with an infrared heater. Have you ever seen these panels? These flat panels that they don't heat the air, they heat the objects in the room. It's like we have an infrared sauna.
Yeah. Sounds a little space age. You have a sauna?
Have you never been in our sauna?
I have never been in your sauna.
What? I can't call it a sauna because it's not Finnish, but
I can't believe you never invited me to join you in the sauna.
I can't either. It's in the room right behind me. It's an infrared sauna. It comes together in a kit. You can fit 3 people in it. So it's got these panels that heat up the things in there. So the air is a thing that gets sort of heated up. This is what freaks people out about infrared. Oh, say it this way. Infrared is like when you feel warm from the sun. You can be cool in the shade and you walk in the sun, you feel warm. Is different than when the air is humid and the air is hot. It doesn't matter if an oven heats up all the air in the oven, makes it hot. A microwave heats up the object in the oven, the microwave oven.
Here's your hot bowl of cold soup.
Which is why the outside of it can get really hot and the inside's not hot enough yet.
Yeah.
Infrared is also a wavelength. It's just the red wavelength. So it's not a microwave, but it's more akin to a microwave. But this
I feel like we're on the science podcast.
I know.
This is the politics podcast, Doug, not the science
podcast so much. Okay, but all that to say, I think we're going to put an infrared panel. They make these cool little infrared panels that just heat the things in the room, and they use very little energy, and there's no fan blowing, there's no heat element that gets hot. Nothing's going to start on fire, but they just heat anyway. They heat differently. So. But now I'm deep. Cool. I'm deep in searching and finding solutions and all this nonsense. But my hands hurt. I'm 60. I can't be hauling sheetrock up there. Even though I did feel sort of badass carrying the sheetrock, full 8-foot by 4-foot piece of sheetrock up the stairs by myself. Alone in the house last night. Shelly was teaching a yoga class. I'm alone in the house, carrying sheetrock up the stairs by myself. That is just made
if something bad happens, you're done for.
Yeah, I'm laying on the floor for an hour and 40 minutes, thinking.
Okay,
I should have found that little bell thing. I should have had. I've fallen and I can't get up bell.
Yeah. Yes.
But the Trump administration is mold on the surface.
Yes. Okay. So here is a story that is relatively inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but it's amusing nonetheless. So apparently it's come out that, and I don't think you've heard this yet, but when Donald Trump went to Turkey to go to the NATO summit, he was very nervous about the proximity of being that close to Iran and the chance that he could be assassinated.
Yeah. Secret Service was worried.
So apparently, I'm going to give you the Medias touch people have this laid out pretty well here.
Is
So I'm
that
just
how
going
you
to.
say that? It's not Midas touch? The Medias touch? The Medias
I
touch?
think it's
Because it's
Medias touch.
media. It's a play on the word media, right?
No, I thought it was somebody's last name. Because it's not, it's MEIDA.
Okay. I've been on
Maida?
that network.
Maida?
I should have. I wonder if in my interviews on there I have said Midas touch like a.
It's not. I don't think it's Midas.
fool.
I don't know. Anyways, I mean, who knows? So,
I don't
anyways,
care.
so
Pronunciation
here's the
doesn't bother
rundown.
me.
Here's the Trump flies to Turkey on the new Cutter gifted Air Force One for the NATO summit.
Right. It was like the first flight that he took on that thing.
Yeah.
On the new.
An Iranian assassination threat triggers a secret deception operation. Security officials devise a plan to conceal which aircraft Trump is actually traveling on. The Cutter gifted Air Force One leaves Turkey first without Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Trump publicly boards the Legacy Air Force One in Turkey, walking up the stairs, waving for the cameras, creating the appearance that this is his plane home. Trump secretly exits Air Force One through the other side of the aircraft and gets into an airport catering truck raised to the plane's door.
No.
The catering truck drives Trump to a smaller Air Force C-32A modified Boeing 757 parked nearby. Trump secretly boards that plane. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also boards separately. Reporters and some White House staff board the Legacy Air Force One, apparently unaware that Trump is no longer aboard. They're instructed to close their window shades. You remember that controversy?
I don't.
The Legacy Air Force One takes off as a decoy and eventually uses the Air Force One call sign despite Trump not being aboard, which is, breaking protocol.
Not supposed to do that.
Trump's actual plane flies secretly to Britain under the nondescript call sign of Reach 18 with its normal flight tracking systems turned off. Trump arrives in England on the secret plane shortly before the decoy Air Force One arrives. Trump somehow transfers back onto the Legacy Air Force One after landing. The Post says exactly how this transfer occurred remains unclear. Trump then emerges, maybe another catering truck. Trump then emerges from the Legacy Air Force One in front of cameras, making it appear as though that was the aircraft he had flown from Turkey. Then he boards the Cutter gifted Air Force One in Britain and flies back to Washington. So basically, Donald Trump, let staff and press be exposed to a assassination attempt.
Hey, I think they're going to blow up this plane. I'm going to get off the other side, and we need all of you to just.
I'm going to get into the catering truck. Just
play
everybody.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm getting into the catering truck. Now, there is video of the catering truck apparently moving around that I saw yesterday, but I didn't quite know what it was about. But anyway, so
it's what's that English say? Stay calm and stay calm and put your shades down, people. I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Put your shades down so you don't see the missile coming.
As Doug Blog says, crazy.
But don't worry, because Don's on the catering truck.
I remember there being something about this trip when Trump basically strong-armed the Secret Service and the military into saying, I want to take my new Cutter-backed, un-American Air Force One on this trip. And they were nervous about it.
Yeah.
They didn't want him to take that one because they're like, there's still a lot of people that think, why does he have this airplane? And it's been outfitted. It's spent $1 billion or whatever, making a temporary one while the newer one that's still coming. There's still going to be a third Air Force One for, President Newsom, apparently. So they've got the Legacy one. They've got this cheap Cutter knockoff, and then they've got one that's coming. He forced them, from the stories that I remember from a few weeks ago, to take the Qatar one. They get there and they're like, we are not flying you out of this country on that airplane. So they flew the Legacy one over there to sort of catch up and pull the switcheroo. So there was something, because of course, Donald Trump is the guy that screws all this stuff up.
Yeah.
It's just...
I just picture him in the, just picture him in the Turkish catering truck.
Oh, I can. Just rifling through the racks, just looking for some nibblies.
It's just a glorious image.
But also, I think the guy likes this James Bondy stuff. I bet I bet he was kicks and giggles about about all of this. And honestly, I bet there was not a thought in the world, if it was not safe for me to be on Air Force One, the most secure aircraft in the world. How about the people on Air Force One? I'm just guessing, and this might not be kind to assume bad thoughts in another person's mind, but I'm just following pattern. Didn't cross his mind. He wasn't going to be like, hey, just make sure old JD Vance is not on this plane and the country will be safe, and I'll be over there with. Rob, do you remember 2 weeks ago? Donald Trump sat in his frumpy suit with his old hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
Saying charges have been brought against domestic terrorists who attacked the reflecting pool. We have video of them ripping up the liner in the pool that I had my pool guy.
200 feet, 250 feet. No, it's 300 feet.
Yeah. I think they're now saying 350 feet. They cut it with a big razor knife, ripping that up. And people said, where's the video? Oh, they have it. I've seen it. You saw it. Oh, can we see it? Yeah, just call the Parks Department guy and he'll get it. Well, they arrested people, maybe 4, a mid-60s former Olympian who just happened to be on a bike ride and went by and is like, oh, this is the stuff they're all talking about. Arrested him.
Yeah. Oh, there's a piece floating in the water, and so he takes it out.
All charges dropped because the prosecutors have said there is no video, and it is precisely clear that it was an application problem that caused the damage. Donald Trump's personally vetted and hired contractor, and Donald Trump saying that he wanted his motorcade to drive on it, caused the damage. Literally, Donald Trump caused the damage. This is now not only an actuality, but a metaphor, and then blamed American citizens, use the Justice Department to arrest those people and bring charges against them, slandered them, lied to the American people, and now when charges have been dropped, he is attacking the person in Washington, D.C., who he hand-selected to be in charge of that office, attacking her for not doing her job the way he told her to do it. A TV personality judge, a Judge Judy. The whole thing is the Trump administration in a singular story.
I'm starting to think that he's not good at this.
And he's not even good at keeping the storyline of his own MAGA
Right?
nonsense making sense.
Yeah.
Like, I know he thinks he can just say whatever and nobody cares. But after a while, like a decade, people realize no one vandalized the reflecting pool. You're the president of the United States. You shouldn't be hiring the contractors to work on the reflecting pool. It's not literally not in your job description. The Haitians that he has now taken away the federally granted temporary protective status to be in the United States, removed that, and they are not eating anyone's dogs.
Oh.
The real life consequences of Donald Trump's cognitive decline and utter mental nonsense hurts people's lives. If you're going to be charged with a crime that you then have to hire lawyers and defend yourself, that's real harm. And this is the same guy that ran saying we are going to remove political persecution from the justice system. And the Democrats that are at the front end of being attacked by all of this have to hear from the Republican counterparts. It's only wrong to politically prosecute Republicans. If it happens to Democrats, that's what you deserve. Or, frankly, if it happens to just regular, ordinary citizens or people that have status to be in the United States legally, are told, you don't anymore. The law, we changed the rules. You came in the country, invited to come in the country, and we decided, nope, you can't be here anymore.
Yeah.
So we're going to Springfield, Ohio, which is the center of the attack by ICE and of federal agents. We're going to be there in a couple of weeks, talking with the Haitian community, who are just absolutely devastated by what's going on. It is so un-American. And Rob, the other day, I don't know why or how, but I started listening to Ronald Reagan's farewell address from the Oval Office. Thinking about the days when all the libertarians and the conservatives talked about the Reagan Revolution and what would Reagan do? How did Reagan talk about this? And he talks about what he saw as the shining city on a hill, and that it was a port bustling with commerce and goodness. And if they're to try to approximate the quote, if there have to be walls, the walls have doors in this port city, and it welcomes anyone who wants to come be part of this country. It was Ronald Reagan's vision. Can you imagine what Donald Trump would say about Reagan?
Oh, my goodness.
Probably what he says about the Pope. Probably what he says about his former press secretaries. Probably what he says about his former chief of staffs. Just all the fools. What he says about Fauci, who apparently Donald Trump couldn't figure out how to fire Fauci because the liberals were so supportive. He just couldn't fire Fauci when Fauci was ruining America during COVID.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that nonsense? Any of that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the January 6th thing. You know, it's like, hey, buddy, you were president at this time. And the people upset with Fauci, like, y'all were in power at this time.
Mm-hmm. You were president.
I remember the daily press conferences with Fauci and the woman with the scarf. Was she the Kraken woman? No.
No, it was the woman sitting who was just
She always
falling
had the
away in the
scarf
corner
on.
while he looked at her and said, "Could we put the bleach on the inside?" I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
spitballing
yeah,
here from the
yeah.
podium during a crisis. Who was it? What was her name? Wow,
Dr. Burks.
Burks.
I don't know.
Is she gonna get hauled in front?
I don't know. Donald Trump, this guy, Doug, he totally bungled the COVID crisis. He bungled our response to it.
Yes.
He bungled the ability for us to thwart any kind of, a pandemic as it moves forward by, slashing programs from the federal government. I mean, all of it. Like, his incompetence cost the lives of 1 million Americans.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he led in a medical crisis, suggesting, bleach and light as solutions. This is the guy who yesterday signed an executive order at the direction of his Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Changing how vaccines are administered to children in the United States of America. Do we want this guy making medical decisions? Why is Donald Trump making medical decisions for my family?
About anything.
If I had a doctor who was like, "No, I handled this thing really well. Only 1 million people died." I'm not sure I would be taking medical advice from him, especially for my children. Doug, he was talking about how children are getting these vaccines, and it's like a Coke can full of stuff they're just pumping into these babies.
We don't even know what's in it. We don't even know. Nobody's even heard of this before, but I don't know if you know, but we don't even know what's in. Now, look, vaccine protocols in the United States for babies for a long time was built around convenience of doctor's visits for parents.
Yeah, totally.
And it was not always great to just bundle them together so you don't have to come back. When that was realized by your average pediatrician or the doctors, they changed the protocols.
Yeah.
Vaccines are not the problem in healthcare. Vaccines are the solution to massive problems in healthcare.
You know who's making those decisions? Doctors and health professionals, not politicians like Donald Trump and RFK Jr.
Yes.
and whoever that woman was standing next to him, nodding her head like a weirdo while he slept during the announcement. What a shit show, Doug! How can we take any of this
because
seriously?
the man has failed at the two primary things that he promised Americans: to get the economy going on their behalf and to keep the United States out of international conflicts and to solve the wars in Ukraine, Gaza, and the rest of the world. And instead, as far as I know, Gaza is still occupied. Hezbollah is still fighting with Israel. Ukraine and Russia are at it as deep as ever. Yeah. And we've started a new war that Iran is making demands on the United States that the United States can't fulfill.
Yep.
So, and the economy is outrageously bad. Inflation is crazy.
And meanwhile,
jobs numbers,
everything he's worked on, from the reflecting pool to the ballroom, which is now a military site or something. Have you see this? Like there were, I'll find.
Well, I knew that they were trying to build a secure bunker underneath it, and they wanted all the funding for the ballroom to basically be the hat on top of the real military installation. So we just need
Yeah.
federal
Yeah.
money. No money's going to go to the ballroom. I'll privately raise it for the hat. But, you know, the stuff under the hat, that's going to cost a couple of $1 billion of Treasury.
Yeah. And please don't use the same contractor you had the reflecting pool. Listen, this is a guy whose track record, like, I don't want him messing with the vaccines the children are taking. His track record is so dismal.
And
What
truthfully,
has he done? What has he done well? What has he done right? What?
Yes.
What?
And, okay, this is a man who during COVID kept in place a team, including Anthony Fauci, who then a bunch of conservatives were blaming for the COVID virus, are still blaming for the COVID virus. He now says was criminally negligent. Again, someone Donald Trump stood next to day after day after day. Donald Trump is now the same person that has hired four-namer RFK Jr. And by the way, you don't need four names to be in charge of determining protocols for vaccines. Shall we do a quick dive on Robert F. Kennedy
Fitzgerald
Jr.'s competency on this issue? Because you know what we do not call RFK Jr.?
We don't call him Dr. Kennedy.
We don't call him Dr. Kennedy. Well, why don't we then call him Dr.
Because he doesn't have a doctorate.
Because he's not a doctor. Literally, I'm not a doctor. What he is a crackpot, personal experimenter who has brain worms because of his own terrible decisions that were fueled by his heroin addictions. That's the guy. And I'm telling you, in 3 years, 4 years, there are going to be Republicans saying, how could Donald Trump have known what RFK Jr. was advising? Do you remember back in the medical conversations with Donald Trump when he said, we're going to protect in vitro fertilization for Americans?
Oh, it's going to be free for everybody.
Either your government or your insurance will pay for in vitro fertilization. And then all the pro-lifey people came around and pushed back and knocked it all down. Now he's out there condemning Congress people who are going to freeze their eggs so they can do IVF later. Friend of Rob's, congressional representative, Alexandria.
Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you, Ocasio-Cortez. I was trying to come up with a fourth name before I got there. Senior, soon to be senior, senorita, soon to be. So she got some frozen eggs and she's going to name, and then she's going to get to be the senior. So she could be like a junior, like RFK Jr. Like, could a guy, RFK Jr., spend more time running on your family's heritage than your own?
Yeah.
I mean, but what's in a name? Who cares? Unless you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Nephew of the famous Kennedys.
Yeah. Did you see the video
from the... It's just utter lies and nonsense. Whether it is the reflecting pool, whether it is the airplane, whether it is COVID, it's just the blizzard of nonsense. Rob, what did we talk about this little meme that's going around on the podcast a couple weeks ago? That was basically, can you imagine if we had a woman president who got us into an international conflict that we are clearly losing, and yet she spent her time talking about the curtains in the ballroom and the decor in the Oval Office. Can you imagine if a woman president was seen spending her time on interior decorating narratives? If there was a book that came out about a woman president who was literally going around the Oval Office with cans of gold leafing, putting it on the walls, that we
he's
see
just the
in
worst. He's Hildy. He's the worst trading spaces designer you could imagine. Like, you're like, oh, and now here's who's going to be doing your house on Trading Spaces.
It's really insane to know that in the deep reporting that's gone on in Maggie Haberman and the other guy's book, that the staff is like, oh no, Donald Trump is walking around the White House and the Oval Office doing decor.
Yeah.
Because he's an 80-plus-year-old man whose brain has lost it. He's doing nothing anymore than pillaging the United States Treasury. And now Todd Blanche, who said Donald Trump's slush fund is gone and dead and not happening, there is no doubt that before that man leaves his role as the Attorney General, he's going to give Donald Trump access to billions of dollars to distribute to American citizens that Donald Trump sees as heroes who otherwise are referred to as felons.
Well, like him.
I follow this guy who makes music, and he had a shirt on that says immigrants aren't criminals, but the president is.
Yeah.
just real clear. Like, it's a pretty good one. Yeah. Oh, it's actually insane. And friends, we are not the ones going insane. You know why? Because today in Minnesota, at least for me,
got an election.
It's primary election day.
Yeah.
Where you get to vote. Where you get to vote for your candidate for Congress twice.
Yeah. Yeah. The so-called war twice. So-called war.
I get to vote for him now, and then I get to vote for him again in November.
Ah, excellent.
This is the thing that frankly, for people that don't follow politics, primaries get confusing. When Robb Ryerse candidate comes to the door and says, "Hey, I need you to vote for me." When was your primary, Rob? What day was it? March 15th. I need you to vote for me in March, and then I need you to vote for me again in November.
Yeah, I always love.
We just take it as normal as can be, but to your average voter, they're like, "Okay, I got to vote for you twice." Yeah, once I got to be able to be, I have to be picked to be the one that you can pick.
Yeah.
Robb Ryerse, vote for me twice.
I am all for primary, so don't have.
No, I am too. I'm just saying I get to go now do a thing in civics, which we don't explain to people well. That
you're going to be able to do again. Yeah, I get it.
I need you to vote twice.
Yeah.
In the same year for the same candidate for the same position. Don't get confused. Just go do it. You don't think I'm making a little Instagram video about that? Oh, I'm making an Instagram video about that.
Yeah. Elections today in Minneapolis or Minnesota and Wisconsin. The so-called civil war in the Democratic Party rages on.
Yeah.
And apparently the governor of Wisconsin race that is the latest front in the battle between the progressive left and the centrist, the establishment Democrats and the firebrand upstart socialists. We saw Abdul El-Sayed win in Michigan, defeating Haley Stevens.
Funny enough, is not a DSA candidate and says it over and over. I'm not that. Yeah. I'm not associated with that. But every time there's a story, they're like, well, he won there. So DSA candidate. He's like, nope.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm not.
Bernie and AOC endorsed him and campaigned with him. And so he was, seen as a part of that
Yes.
part of the party, as opposed to Haley Stevens, who, is very proud of her AIPAC support. And I mean, just
Okay.
so now
Okay,
there's,
you finish that thought, and then I want to talk about this a little bit because I actually think it's part of what's going on that makes this hard for people. But go on.
So now we've got this, Francesca Huang in Wisconsin, who looks like she's going to become the Democratic nominee for governor of Wisconsin, who's kind of the latest person in this group. And Doug, I got to tell you, like, there's this, so like, the Civil War in the Democratic Party. No, like, listen.
Yeah.
This is what happens in political parties.
Yes.
There are different ideas. And, like, imagine spouses going to Lowe's or Home Depot and standing in front of all of the paint chips. And they know, hey, we're going to paint this room blue. But is it going to be midnight blue? It's going to be navy blue? Is it going to be royal blue? Is it going to be sky blue? Is it going to be eggshell blue, robin's egg blue? What
is
shade?
it purple and people think it's blue? Yeah.
Yeah, periwinkle that, like,
where does that fit?
Yeah. I mean, is it aqua? It's got a little bit of a green tinge to it. And what you do is you look at the shades and you make decisions based on that. And that is what is happening in these primaries. People are saying, listen, I'm more of kind of a midnight blue, navy blue kind of guy. And somebody else is saying, well, I kind of like that, like royal blue kind of thing. Okay, which we're gonna vote. We're gonna put it to the family and let them decide.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk
like
in.
This idea that there being debate about how government should function, how the party should function, where the support and energy that's driving the party, where that comes from, whether it's corporate interests and organizations like AIPAC, or if it's more grassroots driven, these are debates that are good and healthy and important. And like, this is not like, it's been portrayed in the media as such a negative thing. I'm like, no, this is the whole point of primaries.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the point of that. This is why we should recognize that not only do we literally have more than two parties in this country, there are more than two parties. It's a functional two-party system. In a lot of places in the country, though, it's a functional one-party system. Like, only those people in that party win. There are more than one party. And inside the Republican and Democratic parties, there are different variants. So all the people that are like, we should have a system more like they have in England, where they have to, put together a coalition. That's basically what they're doing inside the Democratic Party system, putting together a coalition where you've got a Bernie Sanders who's not a Democrat. He's an independent. He's not a member of the Democratic Socialist Association Party. You have AOC, who is. But when you hear Bernie Sanders says, but we
Alex,
we won the primary against them, and the them was the party that he caucuses with, a selected person. So we have a coalition unfolding. But Rob, here's where it gets confusing for people. A group like the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, have a platform, have a statement, have a membership structure that you can be in or not in. So they're standing around the paint chip section like, oh no, we are navy blue, and we mean navy blue. We're not that periwinkle thing. We're not that light blue. We are navy blue. And if you want to be with us, you're navy blue. And this is what we mean by navy blue. So they have a set of things, beliefs that they have. And then that gets used as it should, as a part of the political function and system. But then when someone is not a member of that, but by inference, other people who are members of the Democratic Socialists of America, I'm saying that right? DSA? It's of America?
Yeah.
Yeah. Endorses someone, then they're like, well, then functionally you are part of it. Like, no, I'm not. You're welcome to endorse me, but I have not joined the navy blue crowd. But you're saying you seem like a navy blue guy. Come on over here. No, I'm not going to. So Bernie Sanders, not a member. AOC, a member. But what happens
but what was really interesting is yesterday, Alexandria clarified that she is not a member of the Democratic Socialists of America's national chapter, but she is a member of the New York City chapter.
Okay. Yeah. So
now we're into the difference between, ocean blue and navy blue,
yeah. And this is, so then what happens? Somebody then says everything that the DSA has in their charter and their commitments, which frankly, I think is full of things that make no sense to me. Like, they want to get rid of the Senate. They want to get rid of all kinds of things. They want to make constitutional changes. And then you're like, okay, what is when Bernie Sanders says, we won, we beat the establishment. And again, a sitting senator for decades telling us about beating the establishment gets confusing in its own light. Right. An old white guy who's who's been there for decades telling us that his people beat the establishment. But what makes them a part of that is more a network of ethos, connection, and relationships than it is a singular set of commitments. And we should not hold every Democrat who's supported by people to the deepest beliefs of the people who support that candidate. And we shouldn't do it to Republicans either. If there are Republicans who are supported by the groypers and the most nasty white nationalist, sicko, J.D. Vance crowd, we shouldn't assume that because you got their endorsement, you have to answer for everything they say. Because there's no decent debate. There's no decent understanding. Nothing's going to come from that because it's inaccurate to a level of just being absurd. Same thing with these folks. But then LCI should say, here's what I believe. And here's the thing. He does. He does say it. And then people are like, yeah, but there's really more, right? And this distrust. I've been saying it for so long, people listen to this podcast regularly get tired of it. Distrust is at the root of an American problem. We don't trust each other. Inside the party, people don't trust each other. In the last couple of weeks, hearing a number of my Jewish friends say, like, I am as liberal as they come on these topics. But when candidates are asked, do you believe the nation of Israel has a right to exist? And that candidate says, well, you don't ask me that about Palestine. That is not an answer. An answer, do you think Israel has a right to exist, can be, I do. And why don't you ask me that about Palestine? Because I also think there should be two states and the Palestinian people should have a state that should exist. But when you just critique the question and no one can find somewhere that you've answered that question and you say, I don't think that's an important question, you're saying something. So the distrust that exists across this system of the people who are trying to figure out, can they be on the same political side? And then, of course, the distrust of the DSA people who feel deeply connected to that movement from the establishment. They don't trust them.
Oh, and Doug, it's just and it becomes the the fundamentalist fracturing thing that like happens in churches where like you turn on each other. Like there are a lot of DSA, Democratic Socialists of America people who don't like AOC.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Or Bernie. Right.
Or it's just like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here, folks?
Yes.
What are we doing?
And so difference. Look,
Here's this is a mantra I have said throughout the course of my campaign. I'm not trying to win an argument. I'm trying to win an election.
Yeah.
And that changes how I interact with voters.
And it also puts you on one side of the equation that a lot of the movement people will say, we're tired of winning elections because it's maintaining the status quo. We need to break the whole system, maybe even lose for quite a while so we can change the conversation. That's a movement argument that you're saying, and I agree with you, and I'm trying to say, I want to make sure that Democrats are having these healthy debates about what kind of Democratic Party and what kind of country we're going to have from a position of being in power of the federal government. Have that argument when you're governing. Don't have that argument when you are so far from governing, it doesn't make any difference. So yes. I want us to have a country where the debates have some effect on the policies that are put in place, not on the power of the critique. Because we have an anti-American, authoritarian regime utilizing the power of the federal government to send masked agents into cities all over the country and kill American citizens with no accountability. And you can say, well, that only happened a couple times, right? How many times
does it need to happen? Yeah.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, right? Like 1, 2, 3. It takes 3 if you remember the little owl from some of our childhood ads for Tootsie Pops. Yeah. How many American citizens need to be killed by masked federal agents that are unmarked, and we should just trust that these cowboys are who they say they are, and then they just run off scot-free and investigations are shut down? How many should there be before you realize that this administration is a danger to the American ideals? Mm-hmm. That's why we have to win these elections. And frankly, there needs to be a robust debate inside Democratic politics about what direction are we going. And we should have it all out. Do we want capitalism or not? What kind of capitalism do we want? Do we want healthcare? Let's have all the debates all the time and do it from a position of being in charge of things. Doesn't seem so hard.
Yeah. All right. We got to get rolling. Piece of cake.
You guys,
Doug, if only they would just let us run the Democratic Party, all would be fixed.
Well, not only can we have to run the Democratic Party, we also need to tell people what to do and what to say and how to say it. So there's actually a lot on our list to do.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Hey, and look, the answer to our political woes is not found in the political party. It's found in the people of the political party. Anybody still listening to this probably won't think, no, it's actually run by a small group of billionaires that are just telling everybody what to do. We are still a we the people nation. And there are millions of people all over the country that want a different vision of this country. And we can persuade them to come and join us. Yep. I think I mean, it might not work, but we can.
We're gonna do everything we can to try.
Haven't done it yet. It's like the 4-minute mile. Like people can't run that fast. No, they can. Just haven't done it yet. And now, of course, they have. Did you know? You remember how the 4-minute mile was like this big deal? Like a guy. Sort of.
Yeah.
To qualify for the Olympics, you have to run essentially the distance of a mile, but it's in meters. In under 4 minutes. It's become the thing that was impossible has become the standard by which you are considered even a top tier runner. Yeah. That kind of stuff inspires me. Yeah. Those things we thought were impossible. Now just become the norm. There's a saying in movements, like it seemed impossible until it happened, and then then we talk about it like it was inevitable, something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Some impossible and inevitable switcheroo happens in there. Yabbit said, sent you a donation. Keep that bus rolling. Thank you, Yabbits. We really appreciate that. By the way, the bus is in getting its superhero outfit on. It's happening right now over at
Good Force One being outfitted for deployment.
And Rob, you haven't seen it yet. The wrap. You know what it says across the top of the front?
Does it say Good Force One?
It says Good Force One.
I love it. It's my best contribution to Vote Common Good is naming the bus Good Force One.
It's just so dang clever. It took us a while. And then the door says, welcome aboard, Good Force One.
It was only our fourth or fifth time out on the bus, but
yeah, we finally got it. So now it's called Good Force One. And it's not paid for by the Qataris.
George Soros?
The Qataris.
Or George Soros.
It's American built.
Who paid for the bus?
It's American funded. Unlike the Trump businesses.
Yep. And you don't need a Turkish catering truck to get on it.
Administration. Americans for America.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go. I got 10:30 meeting.
I gotta go put my flag pants on and just wear them around today. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being part of this. We'll see you next week. Bye. Hang on, I can't figure out how to